Good morning, folks. Good to be with you again. I want to read you a quote. Uh, Grant us, O Lord, to remember that it is not in the undertaking of any great matter, but in the continuing of the same until it be thoroughly finished, which yieldeth true glory. I want to read that one more time, just so you get it. Grant us, O Lord, to remember that it is not the undertaking of any great matter, but the continuing of the same until it be thoroughly finished, which yieldeth the true glory. This anonymous quote beautifully captures the spirit of our next point for victorious Christian living in Nehemiah. And that is that no one ever achieved victory by starting a project or by starting towards a goal. We achieve victory by completing it, by persevering to the end, by getting through the kinds of obstacles that will invariably come along. Victory is a wonderful word, and it has very positive connotations. Everybody wants to be a victor. Everyone wants to win the contest. Everyone wants to stand in the winner's circle. That's the kind of victory we want to see. But any worthwhile victory requires effort, often pain, and sometimes great sacrifice before the battle is won and we stand in that winner's circle. And if we forget that, we will invariably be doomed to fail. Today we're going to skip forward a couple of chapters. We're going to see what Nehemiah actually faced when he arrived in Jerusalem to do what he asked the king to do. This is in Nehemiah chapter 4, verses 7 through 9. But when Sanballat, Tobiah, the Arabs, the Ammonites, and the men of Ashdod heard that the repairs to Jerusalem's wall had gone ahead and that the gaps were being closed, well, they were very angry. And they all plotted together to come and fight against Jerusalem and stir up trouble against it. But we prayed to our God and posted a guard day and night. So I want to quickly review. There's a bit of alliteration in these keys to victorious Christian living, and it may be difficult to follow because I'm doing each one for a few weeks. So I want to go back over it and remind you. The first one was pursue the glory of God alone. Nehemiah's focus was not on bringing glory to himself, not on winning a victory for himself, but on bringing glory to God. Even as he pled for the restoration of his people and the restoration of the city, it was for the purpose of magnifying God's name. This is his city. This is his temple. He wanted it to be done for God's glory. So the second thing is prepare for God to be faithful. We talked a few weeks about this. Don't wait for God to prove himself faithful. Act in the expectation that he will be faithful, and then his faithfulness will bless you when it comes. If Noah had waited for the flood before building the ark, he would have drowned with everyone else. So pursue the glory of God alone. Prepare for God to be faithful. Now the third key is persevere. Persevere through obstacles. Before leaving, Nehemiah had arranged for the king to establish diplomatic protection from the surrounding enemies. All the other nations were warned not to bother him. The king said, "This man has my authority to do these things." But as soon as he begins making progress, they begin to get worried. They don't like what's happening, and they become jealous and angry, and they try to threaten him. They plot together to fight and stir up trouble. And instead of building, now they find that they're distracted from the task. They can't do it. They're having to deal with protecting themselves and doing all kinds of other things. You know, praying for victorious Christian lives, we're often confused by our faulty image of what it will look like. Our expectations seem to be that living victoriously means that we will be happy and stress-free, and we'll just kind of coast over our obstacles with ease and enjoy a relatively problem-free life. So when we struggle, when we feel sometimes defeated by our obstacles, when we are tired and worn out from dealing with them, and we are thwarted by them, we often feel like we're not living victoriously. But that's not the true measure of victory in God's eyes. Remember, victory is not something received, it is something achieved. It's not something that comes easy, it's something that comes with a great deal of effort. Think about the greatest victories in your life and how proud you were of the sacrifice and the effort and even the pain you were willing to endure in order to make that victory a reality. A spiritual victory is no different. It will not look any different. In the end, there will be a victory, but it will be God's victory. In the meantime, we will persevere. We will start and we will persevere through those obstacles, and we will achieve the glory of God in what we do. So as you go to prayers today, think about how your life is achieving glory for God, even as you are going through obstacles, that very well could be the victory that God is winning in your life. God bless you and have a great day.